Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Monetize Your Mission Mastermind for Thursday, March 19th, 2026. And today we are featuring Heather Boers, who comes to us from the directory community over on Skool. So, welcome, Heather. It's great to have you with us today and look forward to what you're sharing. And we already have been having a really good conversation even before we hit record. So,
Yeah, we could
I'll
have
let
kept
you,
going.
yeah, yeah. I'll let
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. Like Jill said, I'm Heather with the directory on Skool, and it's basically a networking type of community. And so that's what I'm here to talk about today. Is a lot of people think that it's just bring your links over and dump them in the chat and then walk away, and that's not gonna get you anywhere. So what I really kind of want to open up with is I want you to think about like when you go to a restaurant, and I'm not talking about like McDonald's or anything like that, like a nice restaurant where you're sitting down at the table, you're there with your family, and somebody walks in and all of a sudden they just start popping their business card out on your table and the next table and the next table. Does that not feel like total cringe? And that's basically what we're all doing when we go to somebody else's community and we just say, here's what I have, and we plop it up as a post instead of utilizing that space for creating a conversation. So what we're doing is we're actually giving them too much context right away, and we're not giving them the opportunity to get curious about it first. So another little analogy that I like to use is like if you are at a in-person networking event and you see a group of people and you walk up to them and the first thing that you say is, "Hey, I'm Heather from the directory on Skool." They're going to look at me like, "Okay, so what?" But if you can get into those conversations where they're already at, that's when the doors start to open up for you. We don't need to be like cramming all this information into one post. But we're all guilty of it. Like I'm guilty of it too. And there's still times where I have to go, did I just give them too much more, too much information? Are they looking at this going, why do I care about all this? Or worse, okay, cool, you gave me all the information I need to know. I don't need to click on it now. So when we're talking about the directory on Skool or anybody else's community, whether it's Jill's community or a Facebook group or wherever you go, the whole idea is that you don't need to create more conversations. You just need to show up where the actual conversations are already taking place and be a part of those conversations. I do have a few notes here that I'm just going to kind of skim through to make sure that I tend to talk really fast and skip things. So, um, what I want to kind of instill in you guys is that regardless of whose community that you go in, how important it is to be a part of those conversations because that opens doors. That's kind of what Suzanne was saying, how when she came to school here, she's learned so much. And I think this is probably the biggest thing that I learned. Coming from a social media background where I was on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and all those places, and everybody's like, engage from the bottom up, make sure you're liking, make sure you're commenting, get in the DMs. And that just felt so cringe and ick to me. And the reason I think is Skool has a completely different atmosphere where we can show up in those conversations, we can be ourselves, we can actually just start um, being in those conversations with those people in a natural way. They're not just doom scrolling and hey, I like this, cool. They're actually coming in and they're looking at what you've had to say and they're giving you a genuine reply, a genuine response to what it is that you've put out there or what somebody else has put out there. And they're actually expecting more from you too. Where on social media, they're expecting the, one emoji, thumbs up type of a thing. So, how can we get into those conversations with people that are already in our spaces? Does everybody here? I know Suzanne has her own community. Tracy, do you have your own community as well? Yeah. Okay. And let me just move this. I can't see. Jennifer. Jennifer, I don't know if she's got her own community or not.
Very
Um,
tiny, just launching one.
Oh, yay. Okay, perfect. So the idea, whether we're a community owner or whether we're someone who's in other people's communities, is just to actually be there and I know it sounds so simple, but engaging in the conversation and keeping it going forward. So if someone's saying, that they're having a hard time or whatever, get into that conversation with them. Also know how to get out of those conversations when you need to as well. Um, let me see here. The idea, like I had said in the post, was to make them really want your business card. So again, when you're in a position where you are in somebody else's community, kind of looking through, I find it interesting how many people will come in and they'll have a post. They are extremely um, passionate about what they do and they really want to talk about it, but yet they don't want to see what other people have to say about what it is that they're doing. So again, those are the types of conversations that we want to open up. If we're going to post something, how is it that we can get the conversation going before we make that post? How is it that we can get those people to open up and tell us more about them before we start telling them what it is that we have to offer so that we can that way we know exactly what to bring to the table. Does that all make sense?
It really does. And you're bringing up a whole bunch of really important pieces here. Starting with when we're posting in other people's communities, we need to be more interesting or interested than interesting, as was in the How to Win Friends and Influence People, the Dale Carnegie book. Um, but you can do that by helping people accomplish something that they really want to accomplish because they're in this group. And groups all have some main reason for existence. And if you're helping them achieve whatever that thing is, um, they're going to be interested in what else you have to help them with. And you
Right.
can, all content needs to have a call to action, I firmly believe, because you need to help people understand what's the next step they can take with you. But that should be at the very bottom. And these days, it should be really subtle. And in groups, oftentimes, if you're interested in what this person is doing, you can just hover over their name and learn more about them. You can see what kind of groups they host, or and what they're doing and what other communities that they're part of. And you can
Hmm.
see what they're contributing in other communities too. So if you have somebody that's coming to look at what you're contributing to other communities, and more people as they get used to Skool will do this more often. And they see that you're just spamming communities, you're going to get a bad reputation and people aren't going to want to be part of your community because they're going to be like, well, then she might join my community and then she's just going to come over here and spam it. And, you know, I think Skool's really trying to be a space where it's human to human connection, where people
Absolutely.
are networking with each other, and it's not all about you and your community. It's about, you know, everybody's community. Like I you're in my community. I do stuff in your community, and other people. You find other people that you connect with and you have conversations in a bunch of different spaces. It's not like you go to these other groups to steal members, which is basically what a lot of people do, to bring into
Right.
your group. Well, you know, have conversations in all the groups. It just doesn't matter.
The most amazing thing that happens is when you start networking in other people's communities is
Mhm.
the conversational start, like the conversation could start in the U World Order. And then
Mhm.
before we know it, all of a sudden we're three communities away. And yet all of a sudden we're having that same conversation over there, and other people are going, what the heck are these girls talking about? So that's when they start looking up to see, okay, who is this person? What are they all about? Oh, this person has two communities, or this person has one community, or this person's in this other community. That sounds really cool. And so then they start following you just because of little things like that. So I know in a lot of communities we always have the level oneers who kind of lurk, and
Mhm.
we have to remember that when we go into someone's space that there are these lurkers, and if a conversation can get them to get out of the shadows, that's the coolest part. When someone can come out and be like, normally I don't say much, but you guys are a lot of fun and I want to follow you. Where else are you at? What else are you doing? Can I jump on this
Mhm.
call with you? It really makes for it really opens up a lot of doors. And I think that's the thing that Skool has done for me, was brought me out of my shell. Because on social media, I want nothing to do with it. I don't want to converse. I don't want to be all out there. And I mean, this is still social media, but it's way more social than the other places. Um, I like that we don't have to be, a walking billboard for what we have to offer. We can actually get into those conversations. We can actually talk with people. And I can't tell you the number of opportunities that have opened up from just having a small conversation in a group that even if you might even think that, you know what, I don't know if this is really the space for me, but what this person here is saying is pretty awesome and I'm going to jump on that call with them. And that's the other thing. The more of these calls that you can either create for your space or jump on in somebody else's space, that opens up doors too. You can have an idea, and I know you guys all know this, but I'm going to say it anyways, is we have these ideas of these people that we think, okay, I've seen her picture before, and I think I know who this person is based on what they've said. But when you can get on a live call with that person and you can see their mannerisms, you can see the way that they talk and how they hold themselves, it changes your entire perspective of who that person really is. So it's really important in your own communities to be having at least one call. I would say at least one call a month. I try to do it once a week, but sometimes that gets to be a bit much. How often do you do yours? I know you do yours every week.
I do 2 calls every week, and when I get home, I'm going to try to do at least one random live each week to just for people to network, to hop on and to meet each other and
Yeah,
share
yeah.
who they are and what they're doing. Because we're not just flat people that, only do one thing. We're rounded people. We have like lots of different interests.
Multi-passionates,
We're
yes.
multi-passionate. Almost every person I've ever interviewed is just like, yes, this is where my lane is, but God, I'm so interested in this and that and the other thing, and it's so fun to see where all of these pieces intersect. And there's so many times when I'll see somebody post something and it'd be like, oh, you got to meet this person and that person and this other person. It has nothing to do with me. But I know that those people will have a great conversation together.
That's how it all works. And when I see that happen, that's when I always put that one emoji. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
Because this is how we do it. This is how the whole world works is when, it's back to the word of mouth, which I really love. And I really was starting to miss that before. Instead of, well, I'm going to promote this person because they're in my community. I'm going to promote this person because not only are they in my community, but I believe in what they're doing. I've had conversations with them. I know who they are, even though I've never physically been in the same room with them, which is really cool. So then when we get into the idea, I do want to,
I'm gonna let Tracy jump in here really
oh,
fast.
go ahead.
Yeah, it just brought up something for me. On Monday mornings, I go to a networking event, and it's on Zoom, and it's for podcasters. And so it's people looking for guests, looking to be guests, right? And what they do it works really, really well with what you're talking about here is it's an hour long, and there are two short breakouts. There's two 15-minute breakouts. One is with a group of 4 people, and you sort of talk about, yourself and then the other is one-on-one. And they give you a question to talk about. They say, oh, talk about the struggle you're having with whatever. And so I have gotten, in the past 3 weeks, I've gotten three, either I'm on a podcast or someone's on my podcast.
Oh,
And so
nice.
it's been super effective because when you get put in a room and you have to talk to each other, right, you get to know that person. And so and then the whole end is like a little training session. So it's like we're all, I know who the regulars are and stuff. So it's been a really effective way that this guy Fritz is like putting us together, and it's always random. Never know who you're going to be with. So it's been really fun.
That's awesome. I love that. What is your podcast called?
It's called folkloring.
Oh, okay.
It's about bringing folklore and magic into your day-to-day life.
Oh, fun. That sounds
That's
really
really
fun.
fun.
See, and that's when you find out when you start networking with other people, that's when you find out all these really cool niches, these really cool like specialties that people have. And you know, you might only ever run across one other person that needs that person, but you might find a million people that need that person. And then you can be that go-to, hey, I know somebody who can help you with this. Um, or you just start collecting a little treasure trove of people that you can refer to. It's awesome. And people start to look at you as being someone that they can come to. Hey, do you know anybody who knows how to do this or that can help me with this? Which is, I think, a lot more better than people just kind of randomly searching, because at least then they know that they've got somebody good, that it's not just a random, here, check this person out.
It's a referral, and referrals are worth their weight in gold because it encourages you, A, to be the best at what you're doing so that
Mhm.
people feel comfortable referring you, but it gives it you're lending your stamp of approval to somebody else. And so the third person who's going to the first person is like, wow, this person thinks highly of you, and I think highly of that person. So therefore you must be good.
Yeah. And I like we were talking before, I really think that with the Skool platform, we are able to go back to that word of mouth. And that is huge. That is really huge. Before, when we were constantly referring, just working on like ads and Facebook ads or TikTok ads, you never know what you're going to get. You don't know if that person is real. You don't know if they're genuine or if they're kind or if they're just out to make a buck. At least this way, with the word of mouth and referrals from other people that you're actually getting a genuinely good human being to work with. You can jump on calls like this and you either instantly know that you vibe with someone or you instantly know that you don't. And either way, it's good feedback. It's great feedback. So, when we're thinking of networking, if we are going into other people's communities or even, places on Substack, I do want to pull in the visibility aspect of like SEO as well. Now, this is something that Jill already knows a ton about, and especially when it comes to Substack, and I don't. So she can talk about the Substack part of it. But when I have people come into the directory and they will put up what it is that they're working on or what they have, I don't reach out to each and every one of them because there's no way I could possibly do that. But there's some people where you look at what they have to offer, they put their heart and their soul into that, and it's going to land flat because they didn't like optimize it. So I really want to like drive home to forget what it is that your offer is and remind yourself what it is that your offer does. Because the people are not looking for what your offer is. They want to know what your offer does for them and utilizing the words that your people are using. So if your people are saying, how do I lose weight? They're not looking up the Mediterranean diet. I mean, some people might look up that, but they're looking up how to lose weight. So put it up there as how to lose weight with the Mediterranean diet. That way, in places like Substack, where I'm assuming the whole platform is visible. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So Substack is visible. Communities like the directory that are visible, they're 100% open, public. Those are the types of communities where you can get extra visibility. And what's going to happen is, so say someone from Substack comes over to the directory because of a post that was in Substack or a pin that was on Pinterest. They're going to come over, and that's where the conversations come in. They're going to come over, they're going to see that post, and then they're going to see the conversations that are happening because of that post. And that's where the social proof is going to come in, and that's going to draw them in even more, and it's going to help you gain more visibility. Does that all make sense?
It does. I have one suggestion to add to this. One problem, one solution. Don't try to solve all the problems that your ideal clients have. You just want to solve the gateway problem.
Yeah, get them in the door, especially if you're a community owner.
Mhm.
Figure out what it is to get them in the door. And then once they're in, then you can talk about all of the other stuff too. Because we all know that there's a million different things that we can help people with. We just really need to get them into a space where they can take off their shoes, take off their jacket, and stay a while and feel comfortable.
Mhm.
And that's the whole idea behind the networking, is to create spaces where people are comfortable referring us and people are comfortable coming to us because they can see exactly who we are and what we bring to the table. And hopefully, at the very least, that's just kindness and genuine wanting to know who that person is and what, you know, what their problem is, so that we can help them out with that.
When you're creating these posts in other communities, it's important that you title them. You were talking about titling, but
Mhm.
also the first two sentences,
Oh, yes. Yep.
super important because those two sentences show up when people are just glancing down through the threads, and they show up. Part of it will show up over in the notifications section, and it's what gets picked up by the search engines for the description of what your post is about. So it's really, really important. And if you can stick with the one problem, one solution, or if you're going to do something broad like, weight loss, it needs to be weight loss for new moms who have uh, a baby that's like 4 days old. Getting that specific, and that they used to call it long tail, but it helps AI, and everything is basically AI these days. All the search engines are driven by AI. It helps them know exactly what this is about. And then if what you're talking about directly answers that question and only that question, um, you're gonna get more exposure
Mhm.
through these different resources. And you also get more validation in the search engines if you're constantly talking about a, a limited number of topics. Like I call them buckets. And if you're consistent across all the platforms in what bucket content you talk about, um, your AI will look at you as the expert in that area because you're everywhere and you're always got the same message everywhere you go. It's really important now more than ever that all your bios agree and all your imagery is pretty consistent, and just like it's the little details like that. But if you can keep it narrow. When you're having conversations with people, it's different. But when you're creating long form content, which posts and on Skool are long form content.
Absolutely. The other thing that I have been playing around with, um, because you only have those two lines at the very, very top that are really going to show, and this was something that was brought up actually in Pinterest school. Um, when you look at a Pinterest pin, the text is hidden except for that very first line.
Yep.
So, especially on Pinterest, I don't know about you guys, but I'm like looking through, when I look through on Pinterest, I don't think I ever, hardly ever open up that text. So starting out with the call to action is actually like a brilliant idea because it immediately tells them what it is that you're looking for with this post. I mean, we can do it in a way to where you've got your title and then you have your call to action right away, and then you kind of go into it, so that it flows naturally. But at least this way, they're not invested, and then all of a sudden they get to the bottom and they're like, "Oh, this isn't what I wanted." You know, they know exactly what they're getting themselves into if they start at the very, very top. So I really liked
And
that.
when it comes to Pinterest, use pins everywhere. You might not have a Pinterest account, but other people do. And they
Mm,
will share, make it easy for them to bookmark your pins or your posts or whatever. And you can put them on Skool. You can put them in Substack. Pinterest School Community is a great place. We have like swaps that we do over there. But if you put a call to action on your pin as well, because a lot of times people are just looking at the pin, they don't even care what the title is. All that stuff, the title and the description and the alt text, that's all for the AI.
yep, that's all for the SEO. Yep.
people just look at the picture and they need to know on the picture what you want them to do.
Yeah, I love experimenting with Pinterest. Pinterest is so fun. There's sometimes you can just put up a picture and no context on it, like no words, just a picture. And then you're forcing them to actually go in to see what it's about. And you can kind of do the same thing in Skool too, where you have a very you have a title that doesn't give them much of anything, but it that curiosity factor. And so when I'm creating on Skool, which I pretty much have like abandoned all of my social media because I just love Skool so much. I've become addicted to Skool. I try to figure out ways of, I mean, it doesn't always happen, but I try to figure out ways, okay, how can I make this super interesting? Number one. Number two, how can I keep it short? Because 9 times out of 10, when I see a post that's 500 miles long, I'm not reading it. Like, I don't care how good it is, I'm not reading it. So if I can get to the, especially if I'm going into someone else's, when they're doing the, hey, drop your links and advertise your community, you're going to see my community posts are going to be about this long, where everybody else is about this long. They're trying to explain everything. And I'm like, come on over and have some fun. And then they click on it because they're like, who is this crazy chick and what the heck is she talking about? And they'll click on the link. So I just, kind of keep that in mind too. Sometimes we give away too much. And that's where I was talking about at the very beginning is we give away too much of the context and we take away that curiosity factor. We want to make sure that we leave them curious so that they want to know more. And even in just a regular conversation, when you're conversing with someone and you want that conversation to keep going, how can you reply to them in a way that keeps the conversation going? Ending it with a question or ending it with an assumption that they're going to have to answer. All those kinds of little things just to keep the conversation flowing so that they want to come back for more. Because people on Skool are here to actually connect. They're not the scrollers, which is awesome. That's why I'm here.
And if you could get inside jokes going or GIF wars going, sometimes they can be really funny and fun. And sometimes it requires like some real thought. I love your Google
Busters.
Google Busters. Those are so fun.
Yeah. And that's not even mine. That is when I started my very first community, my OG, the very first person that came in, she does that over on Instagram. So when I opened up the second community, I'm like, hey, would you mind if we just use that? And she goes, go for it. I said, I'll give you credit for it because it's not mine. And so those are things that she does every single day. She's putting out an Instagram story that has those in them. And I just go back in and I pull one for the day. And it's so much fun because it gets people like see these questions and they have to answer it. I'm trying to think of what today's was. I don't even remember. What was today?
Isn't it about women on the first date, I think?
Oh yeah, I don't know if they've announced the name. So if they've announced the answer, don't go back.
Yeah, I haven't looked.
It was something about I think it was like 7% of women admit to lying about this on the first date. And so then people just kind of go back and forth like, well, I think it's this or I think it's this. And sometimes they get the right answer right away. And I never tell them that they got the right answer right away to try and keep the conversation going. But the answer, what do you guys think the answer is?
Told you mine. How much they actually eat.
Oh yeah, how much they actually eat.
They're like ate like little birds on the first date.
Yeah. Somebody else, a lot of people were saying age, and then someone else said whether or not they actually like kids. And that really reminded me of when I started dating a guy a long time ago. It was 3 months into our relationship when I found out that he didn't have 2 kids, he had 3 kids. And it wasn't like the kids were young. So I knew he had twins that at that time they were 16 years old. He failed to tell me on purpose that he had a 23-year-old as well. And I was like, why would you lie about that? Why wouldn't you just tell me about that? Anyway, so long story short, the answer is actually their real name. So these women are going out on these dates and they're not telling the men their real name. And I'm like, I can honestly say I've never done that.
I I can say because so many people meet online now and you don't know and you just like you're not meeting organically that that could be something that you're like, I'm gonna play it safe and not tell you my real name right away, just in case you're
Yeah,
a psycho.
yeah, I can totally see that for online dating. Totally 100%. I
That's
guess
how
when
I
I
met
was
my
thinking about it,
husband. So
oh, there you go. I was thinking about back in the day when I was dating, which is a long time ago. Um, it was all in person. And so I wasn't really gonna, and it's a small, well, we live in a small town, so it's not even like we're in a big city or anything. I think at the time I was living in Rhinelander, which was 8,000 people. Now I'm in a town of 750 or 650 people. So you can't really lie about your name. People know who you are.
Right.
But yeah, so those are the kind of fun little things. The other thing that people love inside of communities are challenges. Like if you can come up with a weekly challenge to keep them coming back, a little daily check-in. Um, in my first community, I did a money mindset, which was a 30-day challenge. And so each day was a lot of work on my part, but I did a daily video every single day so that they could see my face and they could hear my voice and my mannerisms. That way they could tell whether or not, you can just tell with people if you're going to gravitate towards or away from them. So I was doing the daily videos and it would have an action step and then a thought, like a thinking homework item and then an action step. And that went over really well. I actually still have people that come in and they go through that one. And that was from the beginning of this past summer, and people are still coming through to do that one. So challenges are a really great way to get people to connect and come back, especially when you have, um, I don't know, have you done challenges in yours? No?
I don't think I have. I've considered doing them, but I just decided to do an Advent event. So it was a 7 day, it was sort of like, well, it was a 12 day um walkthrough of from idea to launch to create a podcast.
Oh,
Um, but I haven't done a challenge like that.
okay. So the way that I set it up was I had the challenge inside the classroom. So it was
Mhm.
its own classroom. I actually had it as part of like the challenges classroom. So each folder was a different challenge, but then I moved this specific one out. So basically, what happened is I would go in every morning and I would record a video. I would have it in the classroom so that I could have it be a participation thing. You don't have access to the challenge unless you get up to like a level 3, which I mean, let's face it, level 3 is easy peasy. If you're in any community, you should be able to get there pretty easy. So they get to level 3. And then what I would do is I would tease it on the outside. I would go into the feed and I would say, hey, today's money mindset challenge is loaded in the classroom. Go check it out. And then all of a sudden you would inevitably have someone that says, oh, I don't have access to it. I'm like, well, hey, let's, have a conversation and we'll get you leveled up. So that's a great way to get people to engage in the conversation. If you can create a challenge that is compelling enough for them to want to do and to come back for. The one thing I wouldn't recommend with a challenge is I've been in communities before that'll do a 90-day challenge, and that gets to be a lot. Not only for the person that's hosting it, but for the people to show up every 90 days. So if you've never done one, I would stick with like 14 to 21 days for your first one and kind of go from
7
there.
days. 7 days is a really good, easy
Yep.
benchmark. And if you're doing a paid community, you get the 7 day free trial. So if you did like a 30 day challenge, but the first 7 days you gave them everything, and then the rest of the time is just helping people, keeping them accountable for what they learned in the first 30 days. I um I can't remember her name. That's what she teaches and that's what she does. The
And
traffic school.
I can't remember because I've never done it on School, but are we able to drip content?
Yes,
So if
you
we open up
can.
a classroom, it'll drip the content. Okay, I couldn't
Yeah.
remember if they've done that because that would be that would be a good one too, where you could just drip it once they actually open it up.
Mhm.
Um,
That's how the podcast launch magic is. It drips out over 12 days.
oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I have not done one of those, but I just kind of I would make when I did mine, I did the whole thing, not the whole thing. I would do it like a week in advance. So
Mhm.
I'd have all the videos and the write-up and everything there so that the day of, all I had to do was the announcement post. And now with wonderful things like Schooly and Scooch, you can actually schedule those posts to go out too. But it forced me back then to actually come in every single day and make sure that I was putting those posts out there. So,
I
um,
think people need to be careful with those tools. Platforms work best when humans are doing the human thing. Because when you're in there, then you're going to be talking to other people and you're going to
mhm.
be having a conversation on the side and you're going to see something and you're going to be like, oh, I got to talk, I got to answer that. And,
Yep.
then the synergy starts to happen. When you start using tools where you're just like dropping content in various places, you lose that human to human connection and people feel it.
Yeah. When you're thinking of like the repurposing type of tools,
Mhm.
like Repurpose.io, I had that. Actually, I have it through the end of this month. So that I could repurpose content from one platform to another. And
Uh-huh.
my thought process was, well, if I'm making the content anyways, I might as well put it in all the places. The problem with that is, like you just said, you're not showing up in all those places. So you're literally doing what I said at the very beginning of this, where you're handing out your business card and you're walking away. So people understand that they're like, I don't want your business card. I don't even know who you are. So if
Mhm.
you're not going to show up in those places, then why repurpose it there? And that was something that I had to come to a hard realization of is like, I don't want to be on Facebook. I don't want to be on TikTok. I am okay with being on Instagram occasionally, but I know that if I'm going to show up in those places, that I am going to interact with the people that are there because that's what's going to make the biggest difference.
There's a difference between just dropping your business card and handing a pamphlet out to people that have asked to get a pamphlet from you. And I equate that to, and I'm going to bring this back to Substack and why people need to have Substack and Skool. Substack is a place where you can post long form content. You can post your videos, you can post your podcasts, you can make a video and it'll make a podcast for you. It creates images for you. It creates, and it will automatically take some of the extra work out of your life in that it will post your videos to YouTube. It'll post your shorts to LinkedIn. It'll create shorts that are vertical and horizontal, and it'll create some images for you. So you've got content to tell people about something you posted that they're probably going to be interested in that long form piece of content that you've created because they're following you. They did say, "Hey, I do want to know what you're talking about." And so when you post stuff like that, it's not just, "Hey, come to my community." It's, "Hey, I've got this piece of content that you might be interested in. I'm putting it in a space where you might see it." And then they come to Substack and they read the long form content. And then, your invitation is to your Skool community if they want more connection with you. It's it's a it's a mechanism for syndicating your content without having to be everywhere all the time. And you can repurpose content over there. It's like if you're posting a post that's really long or really detailed, in your Skool community, you can post it on your Substack and it can go out to other spaces too. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I have a question for you since we're talking about Substack. And even though like we just said the whole like repurposing thing is in the way that I was doing it was not a good way. In
Yeah.
this way, you are showing up in all those places already. So now you can show up in a way that where you make it in one space, it shows up in all the places that you're already going anyways, which is perfect.
Mhm.
Um, but what I was going to ask you was is the image creation.
Uh-huh.
So does it learn your style or does it just kind of do its own thing?
Um, it, it takes the image that you put in your content. Like you're going to have a thumbnail for video content. You're going to have a social media image for whatever piece you create. There is a way for you to use AI within the platform. I was working with somebody the other day and it was really good. We asked them to create a pumpkin pie, a picture of a pumpkin pie, and it was really good. And then that image is used to create a series of images for sharing. I find that if you put a lot of content or a lot of words on your images, like I'm really bad about, I want to have words on my images. And so some of the ways that they form the images, it will just shorten that up and then there'll be other text around it. It's and they're long images. So they're perfect for Pinterest and they're perfect for Instagram or Facebook stories. Um, you can you can just use your main social media image for LinkedIn and regular Facebook posts. It just depends on where you're going with them. And it's just that Substack has all these tools that save us time and money and energy. And if we learn to use them, it just like all of us are needing more time and we don't have, the resources to have all of the tools that are
Yep.
out there. And it I don't know. To me,
It's like
it's
Tony Robbins always says, turn decades into days. We're going to take obviously not decades worth of content, but even just the idea of taking a decade and turn it into days. Well, we're going to take a week's worth of content and turn it into all these little days that can be used from that one piece of content, which is really cool.
yeah.
I need to dive into Substack more.
Yes, you do.
I just wanted to kind of go over a couple of the core things. I had some catchphrases here that I love catchphrases, and just to kind of highlight everything that we've talked about with the networking and how extremely important it is. I was never really one that wanted to network before, and I think that the reason it was because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe in what I had to bring to the table. And now it's like when you start networking, you get so much more courage and you get so much more confident in who you are because these people that you're around, they pull it out of you, which is the most amazing feeling to be in a space where, all of a sudden I have Jill reaching out to me and she's like, do you want to talk in my community? And I'm like, no, but yes. Because I'm like, I'm not a speaker, but you got to get out of your comfort zone. And I think the first thing is to just get into those conversations with people and see where it leads. And if it scares you a little bit, that's probably a good thing. That means you should probably do it. If it terrifies you, then maybe that's like let's wait on that one. But one of the things a couple of things I wanted to say was that when we're out there and we're creating content and we're engaging, to make sure that we're not giving too much context before we allow them to have their own curiosity. People don't want to be sold to, they want to discover something. So if you can make them curious about it, they're going to feel like they discovered it versus you crammed it down their throat, and they'll thank you for it. You want to show up where the conversations are already happening. And when I say that, I'm not necessarily meaning, the conversations over on Facebook or the conversations here in school. Any conversation, there's already a conversation happening. You don't have to start a new one. In fact, if you're brand new in a community, just go jump in some of the conversations, introduce yourself, and see what it is people are talking about. See if you even fit in that community before you start offering up what it is that you have to give them. And then make them want your business card. Try not to offer it up and just see if they ask for it. That's usually when you've got a good one. I loved this one. If your post doesn't invite a response, it's a billboard, and you probably shouldn't post it. Because we talked about call to action already, and I'm a firm believer that every post should have two call to actions. One is to your offer, a soft call to action to your offer. We're all here to make money. We're all here trying to sell something. So listen, if you want to learn more about that, here it is. But the other one is to invite them into a conversation. So what can this post naturally lead into? I think, let me flip over to the directory here real quick because I put that in the post that I put up today. Oop. Okay, so I have in my post, do you want me to share my screen?
Sure.
I don't know if oh, maybe I don't. All right, can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay, so this was the post for today's, and I just said, what if growing your network isn't about posting more, but showing up differently? So again, that's getting them thinking, okay, well, what is she talking about? And then we kind of go in again, see how short it is? It's not a long post. Just lets them know where I'm going to be, who I'm going to be talking with, and what we're going to be doing. Join us here in the U World Order. And then, hey, before you go, what made a big difference for you when it comes to building real connections online? Get them talking. What is it? And if you notice, like I left the first comment on here because I wanted other people to see that there was already a comment there. You don't always have to do that in bigger communities. You don't, as soon as you post it, it's usually got a comment.
First,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, those drive me nuts. I don't
like to
like those
respond with
ones.
47th.
Actually, I did that once. I went through and I counted. I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna be about the seventh person. So I did seventh, and then I put my comment, and somebody's like, haha, that's funny. And I'm like, well, it's annoying. Who cares if you were first? You didn't bring any value to the conversation.
Exactly.
But just again, trying to keep that conversation going. The more that you can converse and the more that you can open people up, the further that you're going to be able to go with your community and with your offers. So that's all I got for today.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in and share their thoughts on this? Words of wisdom.
I have a quick question you might be able to help with. So I've had a community since beginning of January, brand new to this, saw it on Facebook and kept seeing it. And then I went to ChatGPT and go, is Skool legit? Like, I was like, what is this thing? Like, yeah, it's totally legit and this. And I was like, oh, I really like that. So then I did the hobby plan, did the Skool 101, all that stuff. And then, so I still have my community and it's growing. I have 42 members now. It's a unique niche. Like I'm the only one in all of Skool that has this niche. So I'm not expecting it to explode and be thousands of members. It's not what it's for. But I haven't monetized it yet. So like because I feel like I don't have enough content that like I have some content that is good that would get people going, oh man, if it's this good, then whatever she's charging, it's going to be worth it for extra. But I don't have all that created yet. So what's y'all's advice on, it doesn't matter if it's ready or not. I've heard that like just monetize it, make a premium, even if you don't have anything ready for it yet, or just a little bit. And then I've heard get everything ready, put it in, and then monetize it. So what's y'all's take on that?
I'll let you go first.
My take on that is just dive in. Just dive in and start with something. Because with my first community, I made sure that I had, oh my gosh, I think I had 9 classrooms built out before I started inviting people. And I go back now and I look to see who's actually gone through those classrooms, and they're dead classrooms. Nobody's going into them. So I would just say, if you have an idea, do a poll in your community and see if it's something that your community is open to. And, even if you have to let them know, like, look, I have this really awesome idea for you guys. I cannot do this for you for free. I have to charge for it. So knowing that it's going to be a paid item, is this something that you guys would want to see? And just see what they say, if you want to go that route. Otherwise, I would just do it. Like when I started the directory, I had one classroom built out, which was the Start Here module. That was it. And I started monetizing with the premium. I mean, I had an idea of what I wanted to do for there, but I only have like the one thing in premium. That's it. I'm going to be building on it. And so anybody who's in there right now, they're going to get the benefits of it, because as I grow, that premium price will probably go up. I still want to keep it very affordable, because my whole idea is that the directory is supposed to be for small business owners just getting started. So I want to keep it affordable. But then you also have, so you've got your premium and then you can have your VIP. So I would just get started with something. And if it doesn't work, you pivot and you try something else.
Even if it's like $2 or $3 a month and you're hosting once a week, we'll have a Q&A. That's enough.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll also get access to, as the community grows and as I put stuff in the classroom, you'll get access to that. You get grandfathered in by starting early. And you've got almost 50 members in there. Do
It's
it
time.
now. It's
That's
time.
great.
And you will really help them feel like they're part of something special. And if you have a pro community, if you can offer affiliate links, and this is a secret that I learned from Des actually. You never want to leave communities, especially communities that are pro communities where they offer an affiliate commission. If you're not active, just, turn on the notifications off. But if somebody joins through your link, you get paid on that. And 40% on some of these communities is a big deal.
Yep. And there's even
So
communities that are
pro.
free communities that are on pro. I joined one from somebody else's community. They did a collaboration. I liked the gentleman that was on the video. He had just opened his community. It was free. There was nothing monetized in it. And he let it sit there for probably 3 months. Now all of a sudden he's charging $50 a month to be in the community, period. Because he's like, I don't want to work with people that are not ready to jump in and be committed. So now it's like, well, I got in for free. And anytime I share that community, if somebody wants to join through my link, then I get the affiliate with it. So the affiliate links are huge. If you guys are not using those, Tim's community, the Pinterest school, when I found him, I shared his link in my community, and I think at the beginning I got like 6 people right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
When I joined his premium membership, I had my premium membership paid for in 2 days. So, I mean, the affiliate links, if you're not using them, you are missing out. They are huge.
And some of those people like Tim is amazing at converting his offers. He just like he offers so much.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, yeah, I'll never leave.
No, yeah, like I'm paying for it. I don't necessarily need to pay for it anymore because I've gotten a lot of everything that I need out of it to move forward. But I
Mhm.
will always be a part of that community as a VIP member because of the value that he has given from day one.
Mhm.
And what's
Yep.
really cool is once you have a VIP or once you have affiliates turned on and you start getting people that are referring, then you hype those people up too. And
Yep.
I mean, he did that with me. He's like, oh my gosh, he goes, you're my number one VIP. You're my number one affiliate. You've sent me the most people. I'm not the number one anymore. Somebody beat me out. But it's fun because then you're like, dude, I used to be the number one VIP, and it just kind of gives you like that little, I don't know, trophy. It doesn't mean anything, but it's fun and it makes people feel special and seen and validated. So the more we can do that with our members, not only are they getting the affiliate from it, but they're also getting that special shout out. And who doesn't love a special shout out from the communities that you love to be in?
Exactly.
That's
Jennifer, did you
fantastic,
want to?
Heather. This is Jennifer. Can I ask, like, when you said you're promoting his community, is that in other school groups or just in general outside in the wilds?
When I first started promoting his community, I promoted it specifically in my first community. So I have Wilder Profits and I have the directory. What I did was in Wilder Profits, I was helping I am helping moms who are stay-at-home moms that want to create an income and they have questions about how to do certain things online. And so I took a poll and I asked them, I said, well, what kinds of things outside of social media, because I didn't want to do social media anymore. I said, which ones are you most interested in? Pinterest, Canva, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So I gave him 4 options. Pinterest won out. So that's when I went searching for a community that I could collaborate with. And it was like divine timing because I ran into Tim's community. I joined it, and that day he had a 24-hour sale going on to jump on his pro for $12 a month. So
Wow.
I'm like, you know what? I'm going to jump on because for $12 a month, if it doesn't work out, I'm only out $12. Big deal. And sure enough, I bring it back and I say, hey, we're going to have this gentleman come in. He's going to talk to us. And it was so funny. Oh my gosh, you guys. It was so funny because he had a call and he's like, I'm live right now. Come and join me. And so I went to the school calendar and I joined the call. And you know how you get the preview of who's in there?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was in there. And I was like, oh, damn it. I don't want to be the only one. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do, because then I felt bad. I'm like, he's the only one. So I jumped on and I'm like, hey. And so we chit chatted, and he was telling me what he wanted to do with his community. And I'm like, I'd really like to have you come into my community and do a talk. And he's like, I'd love to do that. He goes, I used to do that all the time. Great. Guess what? Here's the other takeaway I want to give you guys from this call. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. And I have gotten so many flipping yeses this year. It has blown my mind. People they want to get out there, they want to be seen, and they want to show what they have to offer. So if you have a community and you want to have someone speak in it, what's the worst that can happen? They say no. Big deal. And there was another girl that I was following on Instagram, and she was huge. I mean, she's got like this on YouTube, she has the YouTube plaque because
Mhm.
she's just done so much. And she had done a post on Instagram, and I just happened to see it. And without thinking, because if my thinking brain would have been working, I never would have done it. But without thinking, I sent her a voice memo and I said, hey, Rebecca, I'd really love to have you in my community. I'm wondering if you'd ever want to do like a collaboration where you come in and you just show my community members how to do some of your edits. And as soon as I got done, my stomach like that. And I'm like, oh, why did I just do that? And 20 minutes later, she's like, yeah, I would love to. I mean, we have to just get out of those comfort zones and ask everybody. They're just people. None of them are any better or worse than us. And that's what this whole school system has really opened up for me, is how we can collaborate and just ask the question, put it out there. It's so amazing.
To add to that with the original, I post on Pinterest affiliate links all the time. Like I did it for Wilder Profits. I've done it for the school directory on school. I've done it for Pinterest school. And I'll make a little pin for, kind of promoting that, and then just put my invite link into it and, send it out into the wilds, as you say. Yeah, just send it out on Pinterest, to try to get the affiliates that way too. So yeah, you can send it out into the wilds. Just make sure you do your invite link that has your little special code on it. And if they join from wherever, whatever it is, it goes
Make
to
sure
you.
you disclose that it's an affiliate link.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Disclose it's
Which
an affiliate link.
I don't think, a lot of people are, oh my gosh, I have to tell them that it's an affiliate link. Ooh. Nowadays, I think everybody almost anticipates that if you're sharing a link, it's an affiliate link. And if you're not, you should be.
Yeah. Does that really apply for school communities?
The affiliate? Yeah. It's an, or is it FTC or whatever regulation?
Oh,
Um,
I realize that, but
it's interesting because I did see in somebody else's community and she has a community very similar to mine, only much larger. Someone had asked her, I don't know how visibility communities can do it without disclosing that you're sharing affiliate links each time. And I was like, oh, I wonder how she's going to answer this. And I never did get to see that. But it made me go back and put a notice inside of the directory's disclaimer page, just to say, some of the links here are affiliate links, some of them are not. You can look at a link and you can tell if it's an affiliate link or not. So just if you're here and you're participating, just assume that it's an affiliate link and that we might get a commission, and who cares? You know, we're sharing really awesome things that we believe in. I guarantee you, I'm not going to stay in someone's community that I don't like and promote it. So, but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. One thing I don't do is, like, I know Tim had talked about when you share your affiliate link on Pinterest, you want to make sure you have the disclosure. But I have a little workaround, and I can do that because it's my community. But I'm sharing my link to my community, and then once they get in the community, that's where I'm sharing the affiliate link. So I don't put anything on there, and I save that real estate for that couple extra characters for actual context. So there's ways around it. I mean, they're going to come back into the community. They'll see that if they look, they'll see that there's the disclaimer there and everything's good. So
I have to be better about that, I admit.
it's hard because I mean, like I said, we all just kind of assume that we're sharing affiliate links.
Yeah, if I were like
I think we
promoting,
assume it, but the average newbie probably does not realize that. And I didn't realize that was a rule, so that's good to know. I'm not an affiliate for a lot of places, so I'm not doing it necessarily, but it's good to know.
Well, you do realize you're an affiliate for every single community that you're in, right?
No?
Every
Tell
community
me
that you're
more.
in, every community that you're in, you have a unique affiliate link for.
Oh, I did not realize
Yes.
that.
in that
Yes.
affiliate link, the number, which you can go to the invite member button in every group.
Oh, yeah,
It'll
yeah. I
have
know
the
that.
name
I
of
know what you're talking about.
of the group, and they'll have a question mark, and then there's this big long number. That is the same number in every single group. That's your affiliate link
Oh,
number.
it's for all of school groups?
Yes, yes. So you don't have to go
Oh.
to each
that
group and get that affiliate link.
that you're
Oh,
a
I didn't
member
realize
of.
that.
So you have to be a
Yeah,
member
you
of
have to
it.
be a member of
Yeah.
it,
Mhm.
which
You,
goes back to don't leave groups. Just
right.
mute them if you must, but don't leave them if they pay affiliate commissions and you're already a
Oh,
member of them.
interesting.
So if
Yeah.
it's the same number, it's like my personal number,
Mhm.
how does it lead them then to the right group that I'm trying to promote? Like if I
Because
You
just
have to have
it's
Magic.
just the ending.
oh, okay.
So it's going to be like school.com backslash you world order backslash, or not
question
backslash, but
mark.
question mark, and then your unique affiliate link.
Got it.
So what's interesting is, like, if you were to come into the directory and share one of your affiliate links, I could find what your affiliate link is. And there's sometimes when, because of the style of community that I have, I will do that, and I will steal your affiliate link because I want to be able to, if I'm going to put a pin over on Pinterest, I want to give you credit for that over on Pinterest. That way, if they come back through that to my community for your thing, you're going to get credit for them joining the directory. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So sometimes what I'll do is I'll put, like, if you were to collaborate with me on a pinned post, I would pin the post with my affiliate links in the post, but then I would create a pin over on Pinterest with your
Oh,
affiliate links. Because then if they join from Pinterest, they come over, they see this, and they're like, oh, hey, in order for me to comment on this post, I have to join. Let's say they join, and then they really, like, start looking around going, hey, this is a really cool place. I want to join premium. Premium's only $9 a month, but the affiliates are turned on. So then you would get the affiliate for them coming over from Pinterest.
Got it.
So be sharing your affiliate links. If you're going to shout out to somebody, share your affiliate link.
okay.
Tim's community alone, I think I have 15 people that are reoccurring monthly revenue from his community. And that's
It
just one.
can it can be a big deal. And my community, I'm getting ready to run a cohort in there for VIP members. VIP is like $9.97 right now. It's not It's not a small amount, but if you have referred that person in, you get almost half of that
Right.
directly to you. Invite, two
And
or
I
three
have
people
one
and you get.
affiliate to school. I have no idea where she came from. I don't know this person. I've never seen this person. And all of a sudden she showed up in my affiliate that I'm getting paid for this person. And I don't know where. No, I have no clue.
I
And
got
she's
one
got
of
like
those
three
too.
communities now that she has. I'm just like, where's this? I don't even know who this person is. And so don't ever pass
Awesome.
up because you have no idea.
Yeah.
Where did she go? Jennifer, do you have a community?
I do. I have a framework of a community. I've started it, but I haven't invited anybody to it or published it really yet. I've been exploring Substack too. And Jill, that's where I found you. It was on about all the work you've been doing on Substack, because I'm like sort of obsessed with Substack now.
Too.
And so I'm trying to figure out, like you said earlier, about how to make them play together. All of my following, all of my connections are on LinkedIn. I have like 20,000 LinkedIn connections. So I'm trying to figure out like where to go next, like to have like more of a community. So I'm exploring Substack and Skool, and I've joined a bunch of. I'm sort of obsessed with both of them now, more so than I need to be. But Jill, you're the best when it came to Substack. I was like, wow, like this is good stuff you're doing out there.
I
And then I
love
think I followed you
Substack.
to school.
And I'm so glad that you did follow me to Skool because school's a place where you can really have conversations with people and deliver content. Whereas Substack is a great hub for long form and for sharing it out to LinkedIn. And they direct post to LinkedIn if you connect them up between the two, and you can get your LinkedIn people over to Substack, and some of them may become members over there. But if they want more from you, always be like, come join the school community. We'll chat daily, and you can. It's better than their chat feature. Substack is trying to be all things to all people.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got a few people trying to chat me there, and I'm like, it's sort of DMing, and it's not. Yeah, it's different.
It's it's too convoluted and it's just one long, free for all. And whereas school is set up in a way that it's cohesive, you have cohesive content, and whether you allow people to post in your community or not, you can see what's going on. And um, so I have conversations back and forth between Substack and school. And, because I have the Daily Notes Boost thread where people both post their content and their links to their content and their notes over on Substack. And a lot of people have grown their subscriber base over there really substantially because of the power of having other people come and share comments, and they're real comments. They're not like, oh, this is cool. They're
Yeah,
like,
no, it's like it's super legit and authentic and kind over than Substack,
yeah,
and I feel like School is sort of like the way maybe Facebook was, I don't know how long ago, 15 years ago, or like back in the old days, you know. So I like both platforms or whatever they're called,
mhm,
whatever they are.
yeah.
I like them both very much. So I'm like trying to figure out how to use them together. So that's why I got into following you, because I'm like, you're doing both, and I think they're both like super valuable. And even though all my connections and I think my audience is on LinkedIn, like it's not a
Mhm.
place for me to really, I think it's not the place for me to like nurture my
Mhm.
audience, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like
it's
they
that's not what it's
exist and
designed
they know
for.
me, but I think I need a better place to hang out with them.
Yeah, it's some of them you can download if they I forget how it works, but if they have their email address in there, you can actually download your following and upload them to Substack or upload them to school.
I was thinking about doing that. I wonder at how that would be considered, but I've been playing around
It's
with
your
that
list.
idea.
How if
LinkedIn,
you
that list
upload
is
it to
yours.
school?
What?
If you upload it to school, does it send an email then? And does it
Yep.
send the
It
email to
invites them.
join? But does
Alexa,
it do
stop.
it with the bypass email or no?
Yeah, but if you have a free version of your community. It's just they're
Oh, yeah.
invited into the free portion.
Yeah. Okay. So it would just be you wouldn't want to do that if you had a paid version, unless you were
Correct.
okay with them coming in. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, because like Rebecca, she moved everything over from Kajabi, and I think she did that. She imported all of her people into a paid community, but all of these people from Kajabi had already paid, so
Yeah.
they didn't need to
Oh.
pay again. Yeah. So Jen, when you do get to a point where you're ready to launch it, one of the things, make sure you've got in like your About Here page, especially if you're bringing people over from outside of school, make sure
Mhm.
you have a page in there that talks about, hey, if you're ready to get started with your own school community, use my link.
Oh, right, right. Yeah. Because I'm sure I used somebody else's along the way. Maybe Jill's, maybe somebody else's. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, because then that person's going to get, then you're going to get 40% commissions reoccurring every single month for as long as they keep their community. So if they go pro right away, that's $40 a month for as long as they decide to keep their community. And some of these communities are not going to go
Damn.
away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you've got that much of a following over on LinkedIn and you can nurture them enough to where they want to follow you over here, that could be huge.
Can be really big.
This is why I haven't jumped into it. I feel like I'm like procrastinating, but I do feel like I needed to learn a little bit more before
Bye,
making any
Kelly.
big moves.
What is your community about?
So I'll link it here. My school community is for aspiring digital nomads, and my side gig is the Solitaire Nomad, where I'm um, teaching successful mid-career women to how to become seasonal digital nomads and follow their dreams to like authentically travel and live in like throughout the globe while still working in their careers.
Nice. Nice. Are you in any other nomad communities?
Lots, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, and I'm gonna go to Nomad Fest in Spain in I just got back from Mexico, but I'm gonna go to Spain in May as Nomad Fest. I know a lot of people that are super big lifelong digital nomads and a lot of people that own co-living communities like in Europe especially. But my audience is not those people. It's really people that are looking to aspire to do that, to do something that, something they've dreamed of traveling or doing something authentic their whole life, but like, don't wait till retirement to do it. Like, do
Yeah.
it now before you get too
Too
old, but you're
old.
successful and maybe your kids are grown and it's time to go spend a month here or 2 months there.
So are the people on your LinkedIn following that same
Not
framework?
necessarily. I'm also like slowly converting my LinkedIn into like where I want to go with this. A lot of them are from my career in tech, which is where a lot of people can travel because a lot of us work remotely. So
Yeah.
I'm like slowly converting that into, I mean, I've talked about nomadism the entire time in LinkedIn for sure, but
Oh my gosh, you've got a
I
gold
don't have
mine,
a,
man.
yeah,
I
I don't have
would
a call
I
to
would
action right
I
now.
would send them to Substack and talk
That's
about
what
your
I was
tech
thinking.
life and have a different section about, you could be a nomad and do that part, and then all your calls to action in those two go to your school community. And then you can set it up in such a way that if they want to just be subscribers to your Substack, you can automatically just pass through and make them subscribers or premium members to your school community.
Really?
You can do it both ways. You can just
I was
upgrade
wondering
people.
about that. I was thinking about when I figured out a little bit more. I was like, that was one of the questions I was thinking about hitting up with Jill because I was trying to figure out like, is it an either or thing? But it seems like cooler to like blend them together somehow. And that answers a question. I would still have to figure out how to, but that's super helpful.
Yeah, you can definitely do them both together. It it would be really great if you did them both together. And it's a reason for you to post the content that you're putting on Substack, you post over on LinkedIn, and you're getting them over there. You're also inviting them to Substack because you can upload them your list and invite them to become subscribers, free subscribers, and then they get emailed all of your content that you're putting up, and they'll see it on LinkedIn, so they're seeing it in two places. And then all the time inviting them over to the Skool community. I mean, it's just like
And
Heather's right,
like
gold
is
mine.
Substack okay with you inviting people to another platform like
Yeah,
Skool?
they don't care.
Okay.
And for you, because you've got such a big following over on LinkedIn, I would start now. I would just say, hey, I'm building this community out. Come build it with me and let them be a part of the growth process versus them walking into a finished building. When they can be
Yeah.
a part of it being built, they're going to stick around a heck of a lot longer than just all of a sudden coming in and everything's built and we don't know which room to go into or which classroom to go into. This way they can say, you know what, this is the classroom we want to see from you. And then you can do what you do best and you can create that classroom that's going to support them versus doing what I did, building all the classrooms first and realizing nobody wanted that.
I love that. No, I mean, I don't love that you did had, but that's a good lesson for me to learn from. Yes, I
Yeah.
love that. Like to co-create. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and really telling them, I would make a Substack article and post a lot about, come join this journey with me. I'm building a Skool community. I want
Oh,
you
I love
guys to be
that.
part of it. I want you to participate in it. I'm not the guru here. I'm just another person, and let's collaborate. And if you've got some experiences with this stuff, come share what your experiences are. We have a meetup, once a week, and it's just really, Skool is about networking and real person to person connection and community and helping each other. And yes, you can charge for it because,
You
people
have
want
to.
to
It's a
support
business.
you.
No, I appreciate that, you guys. I appreciate you going over the extra time too and letting me ask some questions late in the game.
That's
That's what the
okay.
mastermind is for. I love it.
You
I
didn't miss
never know where
anything
it
in the
was going.
beginning except for me like probably getting red in the face and being very like, "Oh, I'm on camera."
You did great.
I like it more when it's just I get to showcase someone and say, "Okay, here you go. You get to be the guru now."
Yeah.
Good.
All right, you guys, I am going to wrap this up. And thanks for joining me, and really appreciate you showing up, Heather. This has been an amazing conversation.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed this a lot.
All
Nice
right,
meeting you,
Jennifer,
Heather. Thank you.
be sure and share your Skool community and our communities once you get it up and
Up and
running.
running.
I
Yes.
will absolutely. Thank you so much. Bye,
Okay.
you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.